Aron Ralston was born on October 27, 1975 in Mario, Ohio, USA. He studied mechanical engineering at Carnegie Mellon University. In 2002, 27-year-old climber Aron Ralston quit his job as a mechanical engineer at Intel to fulfill his dream of climbing all of Colorado's 4,000ers in winter. Several dozen climbs were successful. The tragedy happened in the summer among the low cliffs of Utah. On April 26, 2003, Aron was climbing the cliffs that frame the Blue John Canyon. This place is considered one of the most beautiful in the United States. The entrance to one of the branches was crossed by 3 boulders. When Ralston tried to climb over them, the top stone swayed, pinning his right hand to the rock and crushing it. For the first few hours, Aron tried to move the boulder with the help of tools and climbing equipment, but his attempts were futile. Then he began to crush the rock. Nothing came of it either, just a dull knife. He had little food and water, and the cell phone service didn't work here, and he didn't have time to warn anyone that he was going to the era. This meant that the rescuers could not be counted on. Aron did not sleep for 5 days because of the unbearable pain and bitter cold. When the water supply ran out, he started drinking his own urine, which also ran out on the 4th day. Then Aron began to lose consciousness frequently and became delirious. On the 5th day, it became clear to him that his only chance of survival was to cut off his own arm, but the bones had to be broken first. Ralston pulled out a penknife, cheap and so blunt that it could not even cut the hair on his arm. Aron sharpened it on a rock and made the first cut. This is how he described the amputation. Even after sharpening the knife, I could not cut the bones with it. I spent a lot of time making a special device. I took a few bicycle spokes and made a bone cutting device out of them. Now my surgical instruments were ready. First, I broke my radius bone. A few minutes later, I managed to break my ulna in the same way. The pain was severe, but I tried to ignore it, and I took a knife in my left hand. I don't know how I managed to do it. It took me about an hour to complete the amputation. In his autobiographical book 127 Hours Between a Rock and a Hard Place, Aron describes in detail how he sewed tendons, how he fell for blood vessels and nerves in order to cut them at the last moment. After applying the tourniquet, Ralston descended to the bottom of the canyon from a height of 20 meters. He rested there for a while, drank water from a puddle, and walked to his car. Bleeding to death, he walked 70 kilometers before coming across a group of hikers. They immediately called the rescuers, who flew Ralston to the hospital by helicopter. The man was conscious the entire time and was even able to point out on the map where his bike and climbing equipment were to be picked up. In the canyon, Aron Ralston lost 1.5 liters of blood and 20 kilograms of weight. He had to spend a month in the hospital. The bone became infected. The operation performed with a dirty knife had affected him. After stopping the infection with horse doses of antibiotics, doctors molded the arm to fit a special prosthesis developed by Aron and specialists in the field. In October 2003, Aron and his friends returned to Blue John Canyon, to the place where he had spent the terrible 127 hours. There he scattered the ashes of his cremated right hand and began training again. And 2 years later, he realized his dream. He became the first to conquer all 59 4,000ers in Colorado in winter. He made 14 climbs with a prosthesis. In 2010, Ralston's story was featured in the movie 127 Hours, which received 6 Oscar nominations. Some photos I used from this movie.